Wreath Across America is an organization that is like no other. It almost touches every person in the United States at some level.
The mission is to remember, honor, and teach. What we give our kids that we've learned from the past is what's going to help them form the future.
It's important to teach not just the kids, but everybody.
We need to share that freedom isn't free.
Wreath Across America started when my husband, who was in the wreath business, had too many wreaths.
We had about a truckload left over that year, which is about 5,000. I mean, we were trying to think of what we could do with them that would do maybe some good to some people. Saw go to Arlington National Cemetery.
He's very patriotic. He just wanted to say thank you.
Out of respect for what we have in this country.
So it became a family tradition.
And it just struck a chord, I guess. Went around the world.
I remember when I started, there's only a few people. And look at the turnout.
It's the heart of the volunteer that makes our mission grow.
And I like to say we have a heartbeat in every community. It grows because of the patriotism that is still alive and well all over the country.
The Wreath Across America wreath laying is really, it's a celebration of life. That one wreath symbolizes one family that was able to smile because of the generous donations.
That's him right here. Because everyone has a story. There's a story behind every name that you see here.
His name was Jeremy Vargas.
Isaac Thomas Cortez.
Bryce Kenneth Powers. My son.
My older brother Billy was E9 in the United States Air Force.
William Guy Neal.
Just by saying their name, we're remembering them. We're remembering the sacrifice that they made for this country.
January 18th, 2005.
It's really important that people understand that Wreath Across America is a year-round mission.
My ultimate goal was to place a wreath on every single American veteran's grave, regardless of where it is.
We're not so many heroes here today, and it fought for our freedom.
There are American soldiers buried at over 24 different locations across the world that may not have family members that are able to visit them.
Edward D. Fallon.
You are sent over to save us. And you die in a place no one has ever heard of. And that's your life.
It's our goal to one day be able to say we placed a wreath at every heads down of our American military members buried overseas.
We have a saying that you die twice. First when you stop breathing, and the second time when your name is spoken for the very last time.
The biggest fear Gold Star families have that their child would be forgotten.
A mother's love never dies. It never dies.
Regina, we thank you for your service.
It doesn't matter how they died. It just matters that they fought for our freedom.
Makes me feel extremely proud.
Their character, their sacrifice, is not just our past, it's our future. And the foundation of this country was built on the lives of those men and women that we choose to honor.
A little bit about my son, Christopher Stone Cipher. When he decided to enlist in the Army to become a Ranger, he was in Ranger School when 9/11 happened. He called and said that he had stepped off into a ditch on night maneuvers and sprained his ankle severely. He tried to tough it out for 4 more days without telling anybody until he couldn't put his boot on because his ankle was so swollen. So they sent him back to the Ranger Battalion with a cast on. But when the call went up on October 9th for his battalion to be in the fray, he cut his cast off so that he would be with his buddies and help protect them. I was up watching CNN, and the little scroll that goes across the TV said 2 Rangers killed aboard a helicopter crash. I thought, oh, those poor families. Not knowing that the next day when the man in the green uniform showed up, I was one of those 2 families. My son gave me a different journey in life. I was hoping for grandchildren. And I got this journey, which is called being a Gold Star Mother. I fell into the volunteer vortex and started to do things like the newsletter. But my very first experience was being one of those volunteers who showed up at Arlington about 5 years ago, waiting for a couple of hours just to sort of get a wreath and be a part of the whole experience. And there was such a quiet, dedicated energy that day of people just waiting to get maybe 1 or 2 wreaths to take to a headstone to place and to honor the sacrifice and the memory of these fine veterans who were buried in Arlington. And I watched this mother and a little boy place a wreath on one of the stones. And I remember thinking, someday when the words in his name are all worn off, there still will be someone who will come by and pay their respects to my son's memory. And this is the impact and the reason why I continue to work with Wreaths Across America. In order to find oneself, you must lose yourself in helping others.
Ask yourself, where would I be? What would my life be like? Was it not for our veterans who have stepped up for all of us, time and time again over the course of our nation's history? Hello, I am Miles Worcester. My grandfather is Morrow Worcester. He is the founder of Wreaths Across America, and he says he is just a wreath maker from Maine. He has been asked countless times, what is a veteran's wreath, and why do we place wreaths on veterans' graves? A veteran's wreath is made of 10 bouquets. Each bouquet describes a veteran. The first bouquet stands for a veteran's belief in greater good. The second bouquet stands for their love. The third bouquet stands for a veteran's strength, work ethic, and character. The fourth bouquet stands for a veteran's honesty and integrity. The fifth bouquet stands for a veteran's humility, selflessness, and modesty. The sixth bouquet stands for a veteran's ambitions and aspirations. The seventh bouquet stands for a veteran's optimism for their fellow Americans and for our country. The eighth bouquet stands for the veteran's concern for the future and for future generations. The ninth bouquet stands for a veteran's pride to carry out their duties. The 10th bouquet, and final bouquet, stands for the veteran's hopes and dreams that didn't always come true, but left with no regrets. Now this wreath, made with 10 bouquets, is a symbol of honor, respect, and victory. It is made from evergreens, which symbolizes longevity and endurance. The circular shape symbolizes eternity and has no beginning and no end. Its clean forest scent symbolizes purity and simplicity. Its red bow symbolizes the great sacrifice. This year, when you place a wreath on a veteran's grave, you know it's not just a wreath, it's a personal gift to an American hero. And you will swell with pride knowing you have done something very, very special. God bless our veterans and God bless America.